Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday, April 23rd, and we are so excited to be moving just as steady throughout the week. Thanks for joining us on Up to the Minute. I'm Joe Sam, the Community Outreach Coordinator for HCC Central Campus, and I'm joined today with Benjamin Escobar, HCCTV videographer and HCC filmmaking student. How's it going, Benjamin?
Pretty good. How are you doing, Joe?
Oh, I am feeling excellent today. I'm really excited because this week has been moving by very fast. Usually the weeks are going slow, but this one is moving pretty steady. So I'm looking forward to the weekend. I'm pretty sure you are too. I know
Of course, yeah.
we're a way away, but we're going to make it through.
We're gonna make it through. Yeah, you're right.
Absolutely. Well, you know what? Go ahead and let us know how people can find us.
Yeah, of course. We're live on the Houston Community College District Facebook page, not HCC, but Houston Community College District. We're also on YouTube, X, LinkedIn, and on HCC TV, our own TV channel, where you can catch a rebroadcast of this show at noon, 5, and 10 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Absolutely. And we want to make sure everyone is watching and staying tuned to that. And we have a really exciting guest today. We're going to be talking to him, Benji, and just getting all the information that we need. We want to go ahead and spotlight HCC's engineering COE with partners and pathways to our students' brighter futures. And joining us to talk to us about that is the Engineering and STEM Program Director, Dr. Steer. Welcome. And we're going to get a little bit deep into this, right? We're going to be talking for a long time about this here.
We have plenty to talk about. Thank you, Joe. How are you today?
Feeling really good today, and we were glad to have you back on the show. So just to start off the interview, because I know a lot of people are interested in this here, you have a lot of impressive things going on in the department right now. Let's start with your enhanced degree programs and what universities are you working with right now? Because I know a lot of universities are really keen in on engineering right now.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to talk to students about that. We are launching this fall some brand new degree programs in engineering that are intended to be, or that will be more flexible, provide students with a lot more opportunities, a lot more access to more careers and more colleges in the local area. The degree plans, it's there's a lot to them, but at the end of the day, we did it again because we wanted to provide more opportunities. But it also includes, we've also added 5 courses to our degree. We had 6 before, now we have 11. So anyway, we've always had a wonderful partnership with UT Tyler through the Houston Engineering Center. They've been a great partner for us for many years. Of course, University of Houston and Texas A&M are both wonderful partners. And we have now our academies with Texas A&M and University of Houston. But we have added quite a few new partners and adjusted our degree plan to be able to be more amenable with those schools. Those include Prairie View A&M University and TSU, which are 2 big HBCUs in the area that offer some really well-known engineering programs. We also have a relationship with the UHCL. UHCL is going to be offering, to my knowledge, only the 2nd aeronautical engineering program in the area starting this fall. University of Houston Downtown is a new partner, and Sam Houston State University. Both those partners are a little bit more focused on engineering technology, which is another really cool kind of interesting thing to talk about in general. Maybe we can talk about that in a second. But Lamar University and Angelo State, like I told you, there was a bunch of them, right? There's a whole bunch of new partners that we're working with, and we've got some good alignment with.
And usually, how do you go about finding all of those different partners to collaborate with these programs and really getting the information out to students to make sure that their interest is high, but their participation is high as well?
Well, part of it is just simply being aware of what are the other colleges in the area that offer engineering. But part of it is also having the desire and finding out what students are interested in, right? We've done surveys, we've talked to students, and we found that students want more options. And so we went out there to try to find these partners. We approached each of these schools individually. Some of them we've had other kinds of relationships and things that we've done with them in the past. So we had a relationship, but we wanted to make it more obvious, a closer, a richer arrangement. What You mentioned I appreciate your reference to me as doctor. I just earned that. One of the things that I
Yeah, I was
learned
going to
during
say
the research.
congratulations
Thank
on
you.
that too. It's not easy getting that.
Oh no, it's not. It was over 4 years that it took me to do that. It was well worth it, but it was definitely a journey. But the interesting thing about my dissertation, to the extent that dissertations are interesting, I think they become more interesting after you've done one, right? But the research tells us very clearly that the more involved a four-year university is with students when they're in community college, the better those students do when they transfer to those four-year universities. So that's really what this was about too, was to help these four-year universities and develop a relationship with their students, for those students who indicated an interest in transferring there. So, but in terms of the engineering technology, I wanted to just kind of talk about that really quick. We have known for some time that a lot of our students that go to A&M or even U of H, and go there for what may be a kind of a classical engineering degree, end up in what is called engineering technology. Engineering technology is not as well known as just engineering in general, but it's an incredibly important part of the engineering industry, and an important way for students to be able to impact and to be able to be part of the engineering industry. And the major differentiator between those two is the fact that engineering technology is much more hands-on, right? The coursework and everything involved in that is intended to make to help students be more hands-on, more field-oriented, more floor-oriented. But many, I'd say many, if not most of these engineering technology degrees can still provide students the opportunity to pursue a career as an engineer. Companies aren't necessarily as discriminating with regard to education as academia is. So a matter of fact, we were at Sam Houston State yesterday, Sam Houston State University, and they were talking about how many of their students who graduate with engineering technology degrees actually practice in their careers and their professions as engineers.
And
You
Dr.
can
Steer,
also get a professional engineering license with that as well.
right, Dr. Steer, I think that's really important for people to know too, with that hands-on experience, because it's one thing to have the knowledge of what
Right.
you're studying, but also to put it to practice and be prepared whenever you get out there in the industry. So that is really important for people to actually develop those hands-on skills while they're in the classroom.
It really is. Another kind of nuanced aspect of our degree plan changes are that we added specific lab courses to some of our own courses that we've been teaching for some time to enhance that hands-on experience for students. That's what we believe. We've heard and we understand that that's what industry wants. They want people that can really get down and get things done. And as I said, one of the most attractive things about engineering technology, though, and I'll tell you that my initial bachelor's degree was not necessarily a traditional engineering degree. It wasn't really engineering technology, but it was more closer to that. And the major differentiator is how much math you have to take. And so we all know students today generally don't like math, right? It is difficult and it's a struggle. So just how much math you have to take is one of the major differentiators. In a lot of the engineering technology programs, students may only have to take algebra, trig, and pre-calc. Some of them are still going to have to take at least Calc 1. A couple of them maybe Calc 1 and Calc 2, but for a traditional engineering program, you have to take those as well as Calc 3 differential equations. Yeah, right?
You're scaring me just by
I know it just scares me. It scares me. So anyway, it's a neat addition to our repertoire, and we're really excited about it. And it's going to be fun. And obviously, it's very important to me having come that direction. So it's going to be cool.
And Benji, I want you to jump in on this because I know you're the money guy. So there's a lot that goes into attracting finances for these programs, but there's some great news in a way. Benji, you want to go ahead and take that away?
Yeah, so one of the questions that I feel for a lot of students is very important is, getting the funds for being part of these programs. Is there anything that's available out there for these students?
Well, thank you for queuing that up for me, Benji, because we have been very hard at work as well. Engineering, we have over 2,600 students in engineering, which is just colossal. We have a bigger engineering program than a lot of the colleges in Texas. So we have a big responsibility to be able to serve a lot of students. And as you said, right, the students we serve, particularly as a community college, they a lot of times they may have to work for a living. They may have to help support a family. They may be already working non-traditional students that have a family that want to complete an engineering degree. So yeah, the ability to finance that is incredibly important for our students, and we do that a variety of ways. We're constantly looking for grants, and we've actually had quite a bit of success recently with grants. We have one grant that we just got with the USDA. Well, let me talk about the other things first. I'm gonna come back to the USDA. We have one called LSAMP, Lewis Stokes Alliance for Minority Partnerships, and we're able to give. We've given over 500 students up to $1,000 stipend to a semester. So we put 50 students through summer research programs where they can make $5,000 over the summer. What this does is it helps these students focus on their studies instead of having to maybe have a job and go to school. Yep. They're able to do that. So we also have a grant that we just recently got with from the Department of Energy through a partnership. We have UT Tyler, where we're exposing students to sustainable energy technologies. Again, kind of in that hands-on vein. We are partnered with Prairie View A&M. I mentioned our partnership on the academic side. We're partnered with them on a grant that is going to expose a lot more students to careers in broadband and network technologies. The big news, though, the most recent award was a grant that we were the subrecipient on through Rice University. That was from the National Institutes of Health. It represents just over $1.3 million for HCC, and about $500,000 is for stipends and scholarships for students. It's really focused on students being able to develop skills for biotechnical research and biotechnical careers. So we are incredibly excited about that, and that's going to. Brian Mann, Dr. Mann has been a huge part of that. Dr. McHugh at Rice University. We've been a team now. We've actually been working on this for a couple of years, but we just recently heard from NIH we received that. So all the wheels are starting to get in motion for that one, and it's very exciting.
It is. I think, Benji, and you can agree with me on this or not, but when he was talking about trig and algebra, that was scaring me away. But I love to hear about the money.
Of course, yeah,
for sure. It does. So I'll tell you another really interesting thing. I don't think a lot of people know a lot about it, but about a year and a half ago, maybe, we started working with Sam Houston State on another project. Sam Houston State University is very, very heavy in agricultural areas. Of course, Texas A&M and Prairie View are as well, but Sam Houston State reached out to us, and we partnered with them to pursue a grant from the United States Department of Agriculture, and another grant. Actually, there were two grants that we received. Another grant from the ITS Foundation, and those grants are specifically to help us develop an agricultural program. So HCC, we're going to be rolling out an agricultural program this fall. Very beginnings, very early on, but it's just going to really provide students with so many more opportunities. There's, we understand and we believe, and just from my work in high schools in the past, I know there are tons of agricultural programs, agricultural clubs, FFA, 4-H out there, and there are students that are interested in these careers. So that's going to be a major boon to us as well. And we're, the biggest thing that the engineering department has been able to do to help students has been the academies. So we're applying that academy program model to agriculture and to this relationship that we have with SHSU. And again, man, it's just been very exciting, a lot going on. and just we're busy. We're busy, but we're loving it, and it's great. Yeah, that's from an academic side. That's about what we've been up to.
Absolutely. And Benji, have you been in 4-H before?
Excuse me?
Have you been in 4-H before?
4-H, I mean the high school like
Yeah, and
level?
in junior high and elementary. I know,
I always hear people talking about those numbers like 4-H this, 5A that. But I've never understood what those numbers were. But my high school, my class graduated with about 950 something students. It was like the biggest class so far for Jersey Village High School at that year. So,
Mhm.
So
I,
Benji, that's more like, yeah, high schools are rated by their size, 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A,
okay.
5A. This is 4H stands for, I think, heart, hands, health, help, something like that. And it's an organization that is for students who are interested in agriculture. These
Mhm.
students, and they're often affiliated with programs. I know Bel Air High School, where my daughter goes, has a agricultural program. They're connected in with FFA and possibly 4-H. FFA is Future Farmers of America,
Yeah.
and I'll tell you, the one thing I always say about agriculture is the one thing we got to remember: we've got to eat, and when you want to
Yeah.
eat, you better be
Yeah.
thinking about agriculture, because those are the people that are feeding us.
Of
So
course.
it's incredibly important, and there's just so much that goes on around Houston. And an interesting part of that I think is really cool. A lot of my background has been in sustainability, lead building, and all the climate addressing climate change. And a big part of that is urban urban agriculture. Have you guys noticed any of these like urban gardens that have popped
Of
up? Have
Yeah,
you
course.
guys
Yeah.
noticed
they're
those?
Yeah.
they're all over Houston,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
I think it's really important they put those within the community. And then speaking about agriculture and moving into something else that they've been incorporating in the community a lot is science, technology, engineering, and math. The STEM has been really big and booming in the Houston area and all over. So I know that that's something as well that you want to make sure that we mention on and we talk about, and how important outreach is when it comes to STEM.
Right. So you're right. And the interesting thing is, a lot of people don't realize agriculture is really part of STEM. When people in grants and different agencies that award grants, and they're looking for STEM students, ag students fall within that category. So it does give us, by having an ag program, we have more access to grant money that actually are influenced by STEM. So you're right. That's a great comparison. So yeah, the outreach, of course, having a variety of different programs available, and extending our program into some engineering technology areas, gives us, it's great to have opportunities for students and provide more opportunities, but we also need to be able to be out there telling students about these things, and communicating with the students. We spend a tremendous amount of time. My associate, the other program director within this Engineering Center of Excellence, Paul Quinn, he spends a lot of his time in classrooms, in high schools, at different events, just communicating the things that we have, and that's we've all done some of that, and that has a lot to do with why we've been so successful, and why we have so many students in our program. We also do a lot of outreach beyond just recruiting. We sponsor. We've had so many. This is like the season for all these outreach activities. I just last weekend we had an outreach activity at the West Houston Institute. We had high schools from Channelview all the way to Katy. We had those schools at the West Houston Institute in the auditorium for a robotics challenge that was sponsored by Centerpoint, who's a member of our foundation, and they were able to provide these schools with toolkits and a stipend for the teachers and consumable kits and all the robotics pieces and parts. And these kids spent upwards of 8 weeks, putting together these robots and learning all the different things that go into it. And
Yeah.
robotics is so popular and so important because it's fun. The students can associate with that. It's like a couple of steps away from like RC cars that are actually building something like that. And they build these robots to do all these different things. they actually had to build a robot that would that they could use to I guess to restore a simulated damage to the national grid, right? Something that
Wow.
Texans can appreciate from the big power outage we had. And it was just a blast. They had a lot of fun. We were able to get some HCC students involved in that, and they earned some scholarships and some stipends like we talked about
Awesome.
before. So it was a lot of fun. We've had let's see what else we had robotics. I mean, I could talk about robotics
Yeah,
all
I was
day.
going to say
It's a
we can talk about that on and on, but we have to move on to the next question because I know we want to make sure we get all that information in here.
absolutely
I mean, it's just a fascinating subject. We can go on and on about robotics.
sure. I like that.
So, Dr. Stead, I did want to ask you, and lastly, this is the last question because we are running out of time. But I know that HCC has several maker spaces throughout the district, and I know a lot of people think that these are just open to the students taking classes in these subjects, but they're actually open to every HCC student, right?
They are, and that's so hard to get people to realize that. And we do have a lot of people that come into the maker spaces that aren't necessarily STEM students or even taking engineering classes. I mean, obviously, the reason that we're doing them is because we want to support the different projects that our students do in their project-based learning experiences. But yeah, we welcome students all over the place. The best known makerspace is at West Houston Institute. That's actually part of the West Houston Institute. It's not really part of engineering, but we promote and our students use the heck out of that makerspace. But we do have our own. We have one at the Fraga campus. We're trying to get more students to come by, and we've got Arduino kits, and we've got 3D printers, and we've got laser cutter engravers and CNC machines and all kinds of hand tools and materials for students to do cool projects. We've actually hosted a lot of different engineering workshops and community workshops in that makerspace. Katie, we also have a makerspace out at Katy that is part of that we have there to support obviously engineering courses. The U of H HCC Engineering Academy at Katy and Fraga have the use of those maker spaces. And the maker spaces, they're just fun, and the students will just sometimes go in there and be working on projects and hanging out between classes and exploring things. We have a rocketry club that started up at the Katy campus. So yeah, there's just a ton going on.
There's a lot going on. And we're going to have to leave it there because I know a lot of students are going to be interested in getting this information and receiving it and just getting involved in all that you have happening. So I want to say congratulations again on the grant. Congratulations on the PhD, Dr. Steer.
EDD, that's right, EDD. Okay. Thank you so much, Joe. Thank you very much, Benji.
Absolutely. Again, you guys, that was Dr. Steer, Engineering and STEM Program Director for the Engineering Center of Excellence. We're going to have all his information that he just shared in a post after our show. Exciting interview. Isn't that right, Benji?
Oh yeah, yeah. I love engineering. That's one of those things that I was thinking about doing when I was about to go to school, but it might be there as a backup plan. You never know. Of
Yeah, I mean, you can always add on some additional skills, right?
course, yeah, yeah.
And I know a lot of more events are happening, not just that just took place, but a lot of other events are taking place right now. We're going to jump into that to give people information about our online virtual town hall that's happening this week. You can check out HCC's upcoming online college town hall event later this week. Students can engage with representatives from various programs, as well as enrollment and financial aid advisors. It's an invaluable opportunity to explore such services as advising, tutoring, career services, and so much more. That's going to be happening, Benji, 11 a.m. Thursday, April 25th. And to register, we're going to have all that information on a post after our show.
Of course. And then we also have Visit Mexico, student culture immersion and volunteer program. Houston's Consul General of Mexico invites students of Mexican origin to participate in the cultural immersion and volunteer program this summer, aimed at strengthening their ties with the country and providing an opportunity for volunteer work. It emphasizes regions that are the origin of Mexican migrants. Students will travel to Mexico for 3 weeks with their airfare, local transportation accommodations, and meals are covered. How awesome is that, right?
I was going to say, I'm trying to get a part of that.
Right?
It's a lot of great things that are taking place. And if you don't like to travel, there's also events and things that are happening virtually and still online. There's going to be a virtual studio exhibition. And that online exhibition features work from all campuses in HCC's Spatial IO Virtual Gallery, awards in art, drawing, graphic design, and digital media. And the image shown is the 2023 Faculty Award winner called Do They Deserve It? With children playing in trash little waters. You know, that's going to be happening through May. And the artist reception is going to be taking place from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Wednesday, May 8th at the Reality Collab in HCC Central's campus. And it's going to be free to register. There's no registration necessary. That information also going to be on a post after our show.
Course. And then just for the sake of time, I'm going to move down to citizen courses.
Mm-hmm.
That'll take place Fridays and Saturdays. HCC is currently offering citizenship courses at 3 campuses for only $25.
Wow.
Individuals can take U.S. citizenship preparation classes. That'll take place Fridays through June 14th from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Eastside campus, and Saturdays through June 15th from 9 to 11 a.m. at the Northline and Bray Oaks campuses. Check out our post for more info after the show.
And remember, fall registration, guys, is now open. Registration for the fall semester. It has officially started, so get on your computers and register. It's going to have regular and smaller semesters offered in a variety of different programs. Online anytime, online on a schedule, hybrid, in-person, hybrid lab. There's going to be so much that you can take part in. To learn more about HCC's programs, start dates, and options, also cover costs, you can visit hccs.edu/apply. Because we want all those students to come and join us, right, Benji? All of the fun that's happening.
We love it here at HCC. I encourage anybody to come over and just start taking some classes.
Mm-hmm. And of course, it is Tuesday, like we mentioned earlier, but I'm looking forward to hump day. Once you make it over that hump, the weekend is coming quicker, right?
Of course.
I love everything that's going on. There's so much information that we just finished having, you guys. Benji, thanks so much. You're always a great host. And great interview that we had with the engineering department. And I know a lot of people are going to be excited to receive that information. And we're going to have another great show coming up as well. We're going to be celebrating Administrative Professional Day with Dr. Mia Taylor, the chair of business technology for the Business COE. And for Small Business Wednesday, our HCC business plan competition folks will serve up another graduate to tell us about her successful business. Such some exciting news happening there too. And we like to celebrate our graduates as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, Benji, thanks again for serving as our host, and we want to thank everyone for joining us. We are going to see you next time on HCC TV.